Boys, it's an episode of the Monday Scramble. It's actually a very special episode of the Monday Scramble.
Why is that?
Okay, I was hoping you'd like pick up on the key and you'd start.
I picked up on it, but I forgot that I'm on push to talk already.
The production quality largely unchanged, but who cares?
Is the special thing about this episode that I'm on push to talk now?
Yeah, we've changed some things off in the couple weeks off we've had. But we're back, season 3, baby.
Season 3. Let's
Let's
can we start
go.
doing the polls with the audience again, and can we ask them if they preferred season 1 or 2?
No, because I think the only poll result we'd get is no one liked either.
No, we're not going to put a neither option.
Uh, you know what? I think I'd be the first to say that season 1 had its own charm,
Yeah,
but this
there was a
isn't
lot
a
to
tier
love.
list about season 1 and 2 because that'd be depressing. Although that is a good episode,
That's a
a
good
tier list
idea.
every episode,
That's an awful idea. What are you on about, Kyle?
just to make us upset. What is this episode on?
I was about to ask you that.
Well, I realise we've gone a minute in, like usual, and we've not even
We
talked about
always
what we're
do
doing.
this. Most of our listeners and viewers know to just skip a minute in.
Yeah. They're already here. Hi guys again.
Hey
This
guys.
episode is about factions because you've already seen that on the title and everything. You already knew that.
Yeah. As this is our first episode of season 3 with the new layout, explain the tiers for anyone who doesn't know how a
Okay.
tier list
So
works.
obviously you've got A, B, C, and D, but you've also got F, or should we say TFF, the Friday Feast. That's the poopy tier list. Ugh. And the Monday Scramble, which is obviously the top tier. You know? We
Obviously.
I love both the Friday Feast and the Monday Scramble,
I
but
don't. Friday Feast sucks.
I love them both. But you see, one of them is good in a good way, and one of them is bad in a good way.
I
It's
don't
kind of
know
the
which
opposite
one
way
you're
around,
describing here.
but I couldn't put those on the bottom.
One of them does genuinely quite high quality interviews, and
One of them's making this tier list.
one's just better.
Yeah. But let's go. I'm actually quite excited about this because I feel like we have lots
Same.
to talk about in terms of factions.
Yeah. I don't know what you're about to say is the first faction here, Kyle.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm quite excited to like bring them up randomly.
Oh, okay.
Bullet Club. Don't mind where I put it. I'm just putting it on screen
Okay.
for people.
Bullet Club.
Bullet Club.
Specifically Bullet Club New Japan.
Yeah. New Japan Bullet Club without the strangeness of like the Elite.
Yeah, I think obviously it's one of the most iconic stables in wrestling history. I was about to say
Yeah.
WWE history then, no. But yeah, it's obviously very iconic. There's definitely different eras, and some eras are definitely better than others.
Yeah, there's definitely a drop in quality in certain time frames, I guess.
Yeah, I think
We're not going to name any names, but there's definitely
I am.
also absolute S tier quality in AJ Styles. He's my favorite.
Kenny Omega,
Oh, he was pretty pug as well.
Prince
Even
Devitt,
Yeah, and then the rest. But you
and
know
then
what?
there's modern day Bullet Club.
I think it should be S, just for those three.
I think yes, it should be S, but if we get too many in S, like halfway through, it's a candidate to move down to A due
Yeah,
to how
yeah,
inconsistent it can be.
yeah. That's fine. Next one, the White family, because they're relevant.
Wyatt family, yeah, we've just got the Wyatt 6 debut on well, last Raw now because it's a Monday, obviously.
Yeah,
Please don't ask us any questions about Friday Night SmackDown. But yeah, I think okay. There's technically two. Oh, there's actually so many different types of Wyatt family. Actually, there's OG where it's Harper, Rowan, Wyatt. Then there's Harper, Rowan, Wyatt, Strowman. Then there's Wyatt, Harper, Orton, and there's also Daniel Bryan as well.
Yeah. I feel like the best we got was probably Orton. And it feels really weird to say.
Yeah, it is weird to say, but I think Orton was really good in the Wyatt family. And then I
Yeah,
think the worst we got was with Strowman,
yeah,
oddly, despite the fact that Strowman, after the right after the Wyatt family, where he was on Raw after the draft, was incredible. But in the Wyatt family, he was not great.
yeah. It was a strange one.
I think A or B. I think
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I think that's a respectable place. I
yeah.
think I'm gonna put it A because if we're including the Wyatt Six, this still has
Oh yeah,
promise.
we can include White Six, and obviously incredible debut. I'm excited to see what they do next.
If you include like the Fiend stuff as
Fiend isn't White
connected, then
family.
it'd be like triple S.
I don't think Fiend's connected
No,
to
I
White
agree.
family.
It's not really Wyatt
Yeah,
family. Next, people. It's a picture of Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns is my favorite faction.
Roman Reigns has always been my favorite faction. I always loved him, even when everyone hated him. It's a lie. I
That is
hated him
not
as well.
true. I was
I
about to
I
say,
used to be
I
a
know that
hater,
is not true. Yeah, you used to hate that guy.
but now this
And
man is very comfortably in S tier. If anything,
okay,
I think he's the top
should
of S tier.
we specifically say what we mean by Roman Reigns?
You can. I think it speaks for itself.
Okay, we mean specifically Bloodline Roman. Um, So in reality, it could stand for all of Bloodline, but not modern Bloodline, not with Solo, Tongas, specifically when it was like Usos,
This is
Solo, and
Roman
Roman.
Reigns' bloodline.
Yeah, the Roman Reigns led Bloodline. You can include The Rock in that as well.
Yeah, yeah. I can't think of a faction that has had such a consistently high quality of content.
Yeah, I think it's got to be S. It is,
Like,
or
there's
the
nothing
Monday
they did
Scramble.
that I don't think is like S.
Yeah, I think they can go down as the greatest faction in wrestling history.
Yeah. Which actually brings us to the next thing of the best trio in history, which is debated.
I have a feeling this isn't going to be a good trio.
The
Ah,
Shield.
okay.
Another Roman Reigns.
Shield,
I
Roman
was
Reigns
considering just
again.
putting 3 Roman Reigns heads.
That would have been good.
You know, he's the big dog. He's the Hound of Justice.
This is true. Okay, I think I'm going to go slightly controversial. Obviously, I
Okay.
love the Shield, but I would say only A. They weren't around for long enough for it to be like the Monday Scramble tier. And while yes, obviously the Bloodline wasn't actually around for an insane amount of time, only like 2 or 3 years, probably the same amount as the Shield. Um, the Shield also had so many different. Oh, let's bring back the Shield, but now Kurt Angle's in there for some reason.
Yeah.
And they try to just like feed off the nostalgia of it too much.
I feel like the Shield is the best trio of all time. But I don't think it's because of how good they were at the time, which they were amazing.
It's
But it's
because of
because the
who the
3
trio
people
is.
were like, yeah, they've gone
Yeah,
on to be incredible.
I would say those three are the three pillars of wrestling, modern wrestling: Roman,
Oh,
Seth, and
absolutely.
Moxley.
Like they are professional wrestling right now.
Yeah, and I think that is obviously incredible. But I think as the Shield, they're obviously amazing. Wouldn't say they were as good as Bloodline.
Yeah, like them being together didn't make them that much better than how they are now. I think it just they were all great and they all just worked.
How much of a flex is it being in the Shield and saying it wasn't the greatest faction you were in? That is a
Yeah.
flex.
And not even just that, but like the greatest faction you were in was all about you.
Yeah, it was focused on you.
Why is Roman Reigns the GOAT? This is
Is that our
we're
next
back to Monday
episode?
Scramble. Royal Roman Reigns is the GOAT.
It feels like season
Nothing can
1
change
all
my mind.
over again.
Yeah. People that I actually consider a GOAT not triple threat. I'm trying to think of a name other than just stable, because I don't want to say stable every 5 seconds.
Faction trio.
Trio, yeah. Well, I think
Gang.
this is actually a GOAT trio, which is because they all worked so well together. The New Day. Let's talk about the New Day.
New Day.
I think all 3 of these have proven that they are probably not meant to be single stars. Like, none
Yeah.
of they were not bad.
Eh,
They just weren't given the
I
proper
think
runs
I
that they
think they've
deserve.
proven that they can work as single stars, but are better as a tag team. Like Big E and
Yeah,
Kofi
yeah,
Kingston
that's what I was
have
trying to
won
say.
world titles, and I really liked when they won world titles. They just didn't get booked well.
Yeah,
If it was a Triple H ran at that point, I think it would have been booked well. But
yeah.
I think they've proven that they're better as a tag team. Except for genuinely, I think Xavier Woods could be really good as a single star.
I think Xavier Woods could very easily have a really good mid card run.
Yeah, I'd love to see him. Okay, if they started building up the New Day again, and this isn't going to be anytime soon, maybe like a year or two from now, I wouldn't mind him having like a short 3 or 4 month reign with I cannot remember the name of the belt, but Damian Priest's belt,
Yeah, I get you.
if he's built up properly.
Yeah. I mean, I think for me in my head for some reason, Xavier Woods is very The Miz to me. I don't know what it is. It's the charismatic part of it.
Oh yeah,
I
he
feel
is
like The
so
Miz
much
is
charisma.
quite hard to hate.
I don't know anyone who doesn't like Xavier Woods.
Yeah. Where we're putting it, the New Day.
I would say A,
Okay.
but it does make me think move Wyatt family down to B.
Okay,
Because
we're already getting some changes, so that's fine.
I think the Shield and the New Day are better than the Wyatt family.
Yeah, you know what, I agree. I think they are like very noticeably better as well.
Yeah, that's why I've said this now and not later on, because I think it felt weird saying New Day and Shield were as good as the Wyatt family.
Yeah, it does feel bad having the White family the lowest on the list, but that's why we're going to change it right now.
We've got some that can go lower.
Is LWO going to go lower?
So is this modern LWO? So
Yeah, this is
hmm,
current run LWO.
the reason I don't like the LWO is because they've put every Latin person in there. It feels like
It's the Latino
Andrade's
World
on,
Order.
yeah, but Andrade's now linked to the whole
Yeah.
LWO thing. He has no reason to be.
See, the question here is how far does it go down? Because the LWO is like it should be cool, but I feel like it never has any good stories.
I don't think it can go that far down because um the Bad Bunny every time Bad Bunny's done anything related to it, it's been great. Um, I want a Bad Bunny return, and it's quite sad. Um,
That's fair. Bad Bunny's actually.
I
I'll
think
admit I like Bad Bunny.
yeah. And then they've also been responsible for some of the best pops in wrestling recently, with Bad Bunny in Puerto Rico, then also Carlito's return. They've been responsible for really good moments. So I would say
Yeah.
C, and I think it's not a bad faction. I think C is perfect. It is mid. There's a lot worse, but there's also a lot better.
How do you feel about the Unholy Alliance or whatever it's called, or corporation? I can't remember what it is.
I think
Undertaker.
Undertaker. This is when it was corporate ministry.
Yeah, corporate
Yeah.
ministers.
Um, the corporate ministry could have been incredible.
Yeah, I
Then
feel
they
like it's
made
kind of iconically bad though now, isn't it?
yeah, then they made Vince the higher power.
Yeah, it was me, Austin, and I think that deserves a D in itself.
Yeah, and it's fair. I was about to say one of the reasons I don't think it deserves to be D is because of the Brood. But I then just remembered the Brood's its own faction.
Yeah, yeah, we'll go to the Brood at some point. They're not lumped into this lot. Okay, I feel like this next one is the Nexus, and I feel like it deserves two.
So the idea and the execution of the Nexus.
Exactly.
The idea genuinely could be. I think the idea is A, maybe S. I love the idea of the Nexus.
Okay. The grayscale one is the actual Nexus,
Yeah.
and
Grayscale
the
is
yellow is
the actual Nexus.
the Nexus that should have been.
Yeah, the Nexus that should have been A tier
Yeah,
because it's such a good premise of a
we'll put it
faction.
over here.
Yeah, the Nexus that happened is annoying. It's really annoying because it was going so well until that awful SummerSlam match.
Yeah, it's a hard one because it really was going so well, and it was like actually so exciting. But then the first execution, like the first really important execution they had, just fell apart. And after that, it really is over. The momentum's
Yeah,
gone.
I think they recovered it slightly when it was CM Punk running the Nexus, but I
Yeah,
think the only reason for that is because he looked cool.
yeah, and I think that's just because I can't believe I'm about to say it. Maybe season 3 is different. That's just because CM Punk can make a lot of bad things work.
Yeah, like CM Punk looked cool with the black and yellow.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I'm
think
saying it's an F.
yeah, it was such a good idea, but it went so bad.
I can't wait to show you this next one as well.
Oh god.
Another good idea, bad execution.
This wasn't a good
Retribution.
idea. I don't
I
even
think it
think
was a
this
good
was a
idea.
good idea. Um, Kyle, do you remember how they were debuted?
Yeah.
Kyle, right. Their entire thing is that they're like fucking rebelling against WWE and they're gonna like start tearing up shit. And then they got given Raw contracts.
Yeah, but like, okay, this
Slap
is
it
what I'm
in there.
saying. I think the
Slap it in the
idea
Friday feast.
started off well, and then it instantly dropped off.
The difference is the Nexus idea was able to grow
Yeah.
until SummerSlam. Retribution's idea died within weeks.
Yeah, Retribution probably is the worst one we have on the list, surely.
100%.
What about The Rock?
The Rock.
Yeah.
You've forgotten the name.
No, it's the League of Domination.
Nation of Domination. You were
Shit.
thinking of
It even
League of
says
Nations.
nation in the subtext.
You were thinking of you were thinking of League of
I
Nations.
was, and I knew I was wrong, but I was like, I know Domination's in there.
The Domination of Nations.
It's The
Um,
Rock, let's be
yeah,
honest.
it's The Rock, it's Farouk, it's D'Lo Brown, it's fucking hell, I cannot remember the other one.
Honestly, I like the
He's
vibe.
he's the Godfather of Papa
Yeah.
Shango, but I forgot what his name is.
And this is probably the highlight of all of their careers, other than The Rock.
Hey, D'Lo Brown. All right. Actually, I think this is all a really high point in the career, but none of their peaks.
Oh, okay.
Farouk is the APA.
Okay.
D'Lo Brown is his insane amount of European title wins. And then the Godfathers is the Godfather.
Oh, you think The Godfather is his peak?
Yes.
Okay.
What does he come back as every time?
Yeah, but the Boogeyman also always comes back as the Boogeyman. They
He
don't
didn't
make the
have
character good.
anything else.
He should have. He should have just came out and it's just normal ass clothes and it would have been better.
He should have came. He should have been in
What?
Retribution. Yeah, he should have been in Retribution.
He should have been in Retribution.
I think
Okay.
Nation of Domination,
I feel like it's a C or a B.
C or a B. Yeah,
I
right.
feel
It
like it's
feels
probably a
harsh.
B just because it jump started The Rock's career.
Yeah, and I think it's harsh putting it in the same tier as LWL.
Yeah.
I think the L, we can really tell if something's C tier is if we compare it to LWL.
LWO isn't innately bad. It's just got no like really good qualities.
Yeah, right. All of the factions that we've spoken about have like an idea around it.
Yeah.
Like Wyatt family, they're all spooky. New Day, they're all positive. bloodline, they're all related. Wyatt family, they're all related as well.
LWO is just
Nexus,
that they're all Italian.
yeah, Italian.
Yeah, look at the flag, bro. I still hate the idea that this is
Yeah,
like Mexican flag, but it's just so like I don't know. Maybe it's the European brain.
mm.
I just see Italy. I see pasta.
I mean, it is the Italian flag. They just
Mm.
haven't put the middle emblem on, what I think is odd.
Talk about Italians. Damage control.
Not Italian.
No, not Italian at all. Aren't they all
Ba-
Japanese other than Bailey?
Bailey's like Hispanic.
I always say
Oscar's
Hispanic because we aren't quite sure where she's from.
well, she's Latin
She's
American.
yeah, she's American, but
Yeah, but she's American, but she's also Latin American.
yeah.
Oscar's Japanese. Kairi Sane's Japanese. Io Sky's Japanese. Dakota Kai's Aussie.
That means to me they're all Japanese.
No, it doesn't. Right. Damage control is C tier.
Yeah, I think this is almost identical to LWO, where it's they're not innately bad or anything. They just have no redeeming quality. Or
Right.
there's just nothing amazing about them.
Triple H has a bit of an obsession with throwing people of the same race in a faction.
Yeah, it's
Damage
always
control,
it's always around
LWO.
LWO.
You've also got Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits.
Yeah,
There's a bit too many.
yeah, and like the League of Nations was surrounding him, which no, they're not all of different races, but they're all foreign. That was the whole idea.
Yeah. Maybe Triple H is just racist.
Don't, because we've had a bad run with Vince. Imagine if it just comes out, oh yeah, Triple H is just as bad.
This is going to age poorly. I think there's practically nothing Triple H can do that would make him as bad as Vince.
I would challenge him. No, I don't. Please don't do that. Team
Please don't.
Angle.
Team Angle.
Perk Angle.
Okay, Team Angle's a weird one because it feels better than the Wyatt family, but not as good as the Shield. I think B tier could be a
Yeah,
good spot for it, but I really like Team Angle. It's just not. It serves a similar purpose to the Bloodline, where it was to build up Kurt Angle.
yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like Kurt Angle didn't need bigging up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it definitely helped him. I can't wait for after Chad Gable comes back to life after getting shot. I can't wait for him to presumably form a Team Angle type faction with probably Creed brothers.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of how it was started.
Who are all white grapplers.
I think B's fair. I can't imagine him getting high.
I think B is fair.
What about the Judgment Day?
Judgment Day, A tier, easy.
Yeah, I don't think they're S, but they're definitely A.
Yeah, they're not as good as the Bloodline, but I think they are as good as the New Day and Shield.
Yeah.
And
Definitely
the idea of the Nexus.
Yeah.
The Nexus's spirit is incredible.
Talking about CM Punk making a faction that isn't very cool into something cool just by looking cool. It's the CM Punk faction.
You don't remember the name for this either.
Strategy Society.
Yeah.
I just don't see it as anything other than the CM Punk faction.
Yeah. I think B. I think it was better than LWO.
Yeah, it's definitely better than LWO, but
Yeah.
it's not groundbreaking, but it's definitely good.
I think for me, what qualifies something for it to be better than LWO is if it has an identity around it. Straight Society has one of the most not hardcore. It has one of the most set in stone identities around it compared to any of these.
Yeah.
It is, what
In the
Straight
name,
Society
yeah.
is about. Yeah. Like, it has a purpose. There is a reason they're all friends. Damage Control, there is no reason they're all mates. They
Well,
just are.
they're Japanese.
Corporate Ministry, there's no reason they're all mates.
Well, they're weird.
Nexus and Retribution is purely down to
How
execution.
crazy is it that Vince McMahon turned out to be the most satanic out of the lot of them?
Not that surprising.
Yeah, it's not that surprising at all, is it? Are you
Not.
ready? I think you're gonna be excited for the next one.
Oh,
It is Undisputed Era.
Undisputed Era.
I don't know where you're gonna put this. I know you're gonna put it high.
Genuinely, I'm considering S tier.
I don't know whether they reach S tier, but it's definitely a comfortable A to me.
Comfortable A. I would say S because yes, it was never on the main roster, but NXT, the Undisputed Era, were the thing in NXT, and without the Undisputed Era, I don't know how NXT would have coped for
Yeah.
years. Think of the Bloodline. How would main roster WWE have coped throughout that era without it? I think you could not talk about NXT the same as if we didn't have Undisputed Era. And I think that's what qualifies it to be S tier. If it's fundamentally
Yeah.
changing for the entire brand or company, like the Bullet Club was, you've got to have it in
I
S
feel
tier.
like the Shield kind of did that though.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe we're just doing the Shield dirty. I feel like if Undisputed Era is S tier, then the Shield is. I feel
Yeah,
like these two are
I'm
the
fine with
same
that.
kind of vibe.
Yeah, because Shield was fundamentally changing for the
Yeah.
company, and New Day and Judgment Day weren't, and the Nexus um, should have been in spirit.
Okay. We'll do a classic rejig.
We love a rejig.
We love a rejig. But once I do the rejig, I will at least tell you the next one, and it is Bullet Club related. Bullet Club Gold.
Bullet Club Gold. I love Bullet Club Gold, but I think it's B tier.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I pulled it out and I was like, "There's not a lot we can say about this one." I feel like we're both quite confident in the B tier.
The issue of Bullet Club Gold is that there is no issue with it. There
Yeah,
shouldn't be a reason it's not bigger than it is in AEW. But they've had Jay White not win anything. Juice Robinson's only just came back, I think. The Gun Club are both just good tag team people, nothing much more. So they've just slapped them in the trios division, and they're trios champ, I think. But there's nothing else happening with them.
yeah. I think we're gonna. I think we'll round out the lower ones we've got, and then we'll end on like the top of the top. I say the top of the top, the most mainstream of the mainstream. So we'll
Yeah,
start. We'll start with this, because you can talk about this one and I can't.
Death Triangle. Death Triangle, I would say, is B tier, but it's weird because if they booked it like an actual faction, it would be incredible. Because they're just all incredibly good, but they for some reason just have them on and off as mates every so often, and then whenever they just need a trio for something, they just go, "Oh yeah, you three, you're now mates again." So I
Yeah,
don't really get why they're not booking it as an actual faction, considering how much AEW love doing that. But whenever they do something together, it's really good. They just don't do it often for some reason.
okay. Thankfully, I don't think this next one gets to be. You might disagree. The Hurt Business. I'll admit, I
I
as a
love Hurt.
trio, I love them, but as
Or
a
there's four of them.
wait, there's four of them.
Okay, what Hurt Business are you thinking of?
Oh yeah, I forgot about
You're
MVP.
Yeah, so I'm thinking of Bobby Lashley, MVP, Shelton Benjamin, Cedric Alexander.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, pandemic Hurt Business, in
Yeah.
which genuinely I would say A.
I think that's kind of a crazy one with the Whites being in B, but I'll let you cook.
I love the Hurt Business.
You just
Um,
really like Bobby Lashley, don't you?
I really like Bobby Lashley. But no, I think they did quite carry Raw Pandemic for a while
Yeah.
when Bobby was WWE champion and also US champion for ages. They carried Raw through that era.
Yeah, I didn't really watch a lot of wrestling during the pandemic. I was
I
busy.
sadly did,
Yeah.
and that's probably why I love Bobby Lashley so much.
You know what? You've sold me. It's in A, but it's also next to the Nexus, so unlucky.
Unlucky.
The Brood. Okay. I know I'm gonna give a controversial take. I
Okay,
fucking hate the Brood.
why?
I don't know. There's just a vibe that I don't like about them.
By the way, I don't love the Brood. I'd put them C with
Yeah,
LWO.
I can't put them any higher than C because I just
Yeah, I think C is good for them. They didn't do anything important. They just didn't. It's just a kind of cool idea, but they
it's
didn't
a
actually do
cool
anything.
gimmick. It's just they did absolutely nothing, and
Oh
like
yeah,
I can't think of anything interesting they actually did other than like
oh yeah,
blood.
yeah. I mean, yeah, they didn't do anything interesting. It was just an interesting idea,
Okay, we'll
and
go
they've also
through.
kind of ruined it by the amount of times Edge has like invokes the spirit of the Brood
Yeah,
and turned
yeah,
into a
I hate that.
demon. Yeah, it's a
Talking
joke.
about people that are invoking the spirit of something they shouldn't, the authority. This is Triple H invoking the spirit of
A
the authority.
bastard. D tier.
Yeah, this is in the detail.
The only reason the only reason it's not F tier is because it was executed how they intended. It was
Yeah,
just executed in an annoying
it's
way.
a weird one because they really did well. They did exactly what they were
Yeah,
trying
it
to do.
served the exact purpose it
The
needed.
idea was just that bad.
It just sucked.
Yeah, this was incredible execution, terrible idea.
Yeah. This is the opposite the opposite of the No, this quite literally is the opposite of the
Yeah,
Nexus.
this is the opposite of the Nexus,
And it's only marginally better.
which is why no one
There we go.
thinks about the authority where it's like, oh, that could have been better. Like, I wish I could have booked that better. No, you'd have to change what the whole fucking faction is.
Yeah. I think wrestling has taught us that extremist groups don't work.
Chaos. We're gonna pass that one.
Chaos. I think you should probably say more about chaos than me because you probably
Okay.
know about it more than me.
As a faction, they don't really do a whole lot.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Like, I don't remember chaos doing anything together
It's
really as
more
a
of just
group.
a group of incredibly talented wrestlers.
Yeah.
It's a union.
Oh no.
Um, however, there is quite a lot of like inter chaos stories. Um, I think we could very actually no, I think it'd be illegal to put anything below A.
Okay, I'll respect that because you know more about chaos than me.
There's just too many incredible wrestlers who have like changed the landscape of wrestling because they've been in chaos.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay, here is the big three. We'll do the lowest, the big three first, but I feel like this is a insta. You know exactly where you're putting it. Evolution is
S.
a three. You know what I mean? It's not a mystery.
Evol-
It's yes.
it's S. Evolution. Okay, if I was going to rank them in this S tier, Bloodline first, uh, Evolution second, Undisputed Era third, Bullet Club fourth, Shield fifth.
Okay.
Evolution is incredible.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
I think the only reason I have Era over Bullet Club is because the Bullet Club's been a bit too inconsistent. Peak Bullet Club's better than peak Undisputed Era, but average Undisputed Era is better than average Bullet Club.
Yeah, that's fair. I agree with everything you just said. Whilst I shuffle these around,
Do you want me to
uh,
talk about Evolution a bit more?
I mean you can, or I can get you the next one if you want.
No, I'll talk about Evolution. So, what were you saying about the Shield very much also applies to Evolution. You've got, I'm going to say three because I'm not going, even though Ric Flair's obviously part of Evolution, he was already like legendary by that point. But Triple H, Batista, and Randy Orton were wrestling for the next, or were heel wrestling for the next like genuinely 10 years, maybe a little less in Batista's case, but for the foreseeable future, they were heel wrestling. So
Yeah,
they changed. Wrestling without Evolution would not be remotely similar.
yeah, it did form the landscape of WWE for at least like 10, 15 years.
Yeah. No, I forgot.
Oh, whoops! I just put Brood in F. Fuck Brood.
Oh,
Okay,
your
here
hand
are the big
sucks.
two. If I said to you, what are the biggest two factions in all of wrestling? What do you say?
League of Nations.
No, unfortunately, not on the list.
Okay, I can no longer think of factions, what makes
Okay.
this bit really bad.
Yeah, and it's really embarrassing as I'm about to pull both of them out, and you're gonna be like, "Oh, of course."
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I
you
forgot
know, these
about those
2,
2. Forgot about those 2. Oh,
the Monday Night Wars
it's
ones.
the spray paint boys.
Yeah. Um,
Um,
okay, we'll
okay,
start with NWO, because I don't think
NWO B tier.
B tier, damn.
Because in spirit, the NWO is easily S. However,
Yeah, yeah,
the execution after the first like a year or two, this isn't down to the NWO. This is down to WCW.
yeah.
But it was executed so poorly after a few years.
Yeah, see, NWO, it had one of the highest highs of anything on this list, but the issue is,
It has one of the
it
lowest
has
lows.
one of the most consistent lows of anything on this list.
Yeah, its peak is incredible. However, it's at its peak 10% of the time and it's low 90% of the
Yeah,
time.
on average, it's a B. Its peak is S. I mean, its
Its peak
lowest,
is
though, is like FFF.
its peak is genuinely like S plus,
Yeah.
but it's never at its peak.
Yeah, and it never was again.
DX
DX,
A.
A? You think DX is an A?
I think DX is better than NWO.
Oh, I think DX is definitely better than NWO.
Are you saying S?
I think yeah, I think DX is an S. For its
For me, the
Degeneration X.
yeah, good point. In my head, DX have came back so many times. However, I all assumed it was to the same level as the most recent DX comeback.
Yeah.
What was Shawn and Triple H in Saudi Arabia?
Oh, yeah, that was terrible.
But no,
That was
to
a
be fair,
triple F, but
that was a triple F.
that
But
was
to be
a the
fair,
Friday Feast, if I've
yeah,
ever seen one.
most DX returns have been good.
I would say it's there
Yeah,
because, I can't really put it above Bullet Club because Bullet Club's just had such a presence outside of WWE.
yeah,
But you know what? I'd happily put it in S. I think anywhere else is doing it a disjustice.
yeah. Can we move Hurt Business a bit further to the left so it doesn't have to be near like the weird kid? Nexus
Of course.
is the weird kid here that nobody really likes.
Oh, no, it accidentally went closer.
Oh no.
Pandemic, you know what it's like.
No, that's the opposite of the idea of the pandemic, Kyle.
Okay, fine. It's in A like the rest.
Yeah.
Nexus is in, like, A, but with a really big asterisk on.
Yeah, it has such a big asterisk on it.
Boom. You completely right, though, Corey. This took us way longer than I said it would.
I told you it would take us about 40 minutes.
Yeah, you, bang on.
Yeah.
Well, not bang on. That's not how long the episode's been.
Kyle, it's gonna take us a minute and a half to close this up. I'm going to carry
100%.
on. Yeah, I remembered a few stable. I remembered one stable in the middle of that we forgot to mention, but I don't even think we would have mentioned it anyway. When we were talking about Evolution, I remember that Randy Orton had his stable,
Oh,
Legacy,
yeah.
and we could have
Yeah.
genuinely put Legacy. Where would you have put Legacy?
Probably at B or C.
I would have said B. Um, yeah, there we go. That's the only one I also remembered.
Boom. Legacy with an asterisk is on B.
Yeah, the asterisk is that it's not physically there.
Yeah. It's
It's
there
more
in
of
our
a spirit. It's in spirit, similar to how Nexus is in A because of its spirit.
Another few that we didn't put on the list, but like kind of where I vibe it. Imperium, I'd probably give us right
Shit, we
now
forgot
a
about
B or a C.
Imperium. What?
Gunther's an actual god amongst men, but
Okay,
the
right.
other two don't do anything
Okay.
until now.
When I think of Imperium, I think when it was Walter, Fabian Aichner, Marcel Barthel, and Alexander Wolf. 4-person Imperium, in
Okay.
which it's A.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
They
think
have
overall,
they've
it just
made
doesn't
it
impress me a lot.
they've made it similar to Team Angle though, in how it's focused on Walter.
Yeah. Like they do, I think Imperium could easily become an S, or well, it could have become an S. I don't think it's going to be an S anymore.
Yeah, well,
It could have become an
the
S
kid
if
can't remember.
as a tag team, they did stuff.
Yeah, if they made uh what are what are their newer names? If they made
Kaiser,
Kaiser
Wilhelm.
and fuck, what's the other one? Can't give me random Italian names.
Um, isn't it like Ludwig?
Giovanni, that's it.
Ah,
Um, they made Ludwig Kaiser and Giovanni
yeah, Ludwig
Vinci
Kaiser.
tag champs.
Giovanni Vinci.
If they made them tag champs, it would be A, or maybe
Yeah,
even S.
but they didn't, and now we bumped it up, so that is probably 40 minutes for you, Corey.
It is.
Hooray! Congrats,
Hooray!
everyone.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Monday Scramble. Bye bye.